everybody, and welcome to another episode of Charismatic Misery. Tonight we're playing the module Curse of Strahd, but it's changed, transformed, and we're playing in the system and the setting of Frostmark RPG, everything created by Marc. There's a content warning for tonight of bad language, heavy topics, gothic horror, and perhaps some gore. We shall see. But with me, I have wonderful cast of players. I got Lady there. I have him a mega split with Julie. Hello, welcome.
I went through a haunted mind mansion and all I got was this headache.
You should put that on a t-shirt. I'm Mardia Chasher Warlock, played by Cookie. Hello, hello.
It's my turn to confront my parental issues. Yeah!
Woo! Next to the study achieving by played by Adriano.
I don't think I have anything to say here other than let's do a murdering.
Master Arias and the Woman Wizard played by Bowie. Hello, welcome.
And a dwarf. You also got a dwarf.
What happened last time, gang?
Whose turn is it to read?
I want to say
it. I haven't done it in a while because we were supposed to be serious. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't
Show
you
us your voice acting skills.
No.
Go ahead.
I want voice acting skills. Okay, I'll read it from the place where you read stuff from. But it's not my head. So that I don't fuck up. Okay, here we go. Oh,
Okay.
it's a lot of shit to read. Okay, here we are. The clock strikes midnight and the battle of the monochrome stab commences. That vampire easily dodges Nyx's first attack, and the tiefling in question, harried and scared, asks Hamatia to heal Illyria. After the GM fumbles with the giant block of text that is Strahd's character sheet and deals some windy blast damage. Yeah! Hamatia makes good on her promise to Nyx. With souls leaving Hamatia left and right and center, Hamatia charges into a melee fight with Strahd with a knife and a defiant attitude. Illyria wakes up underneath the table and activates the Sun Sword and shouts to everybody, but he is not real, as everything else in this magnificent is, relational, nightmare. Strahd is annoyed by Hamatia's presence and viciously slashes her with his onyx blade. Nyx recognizes that the only one capable of defeating this threat is Irius, so he imparts some final, desperate words to him, hoping that it will embolden him, and embolden him through the power of the wonderful RP. 2 nat 1s turned into a result of 17 thanks to the power of GM inspiration. As fate asks Irius what will he do in the face of his second chance. Irius decides to fight, and a fraction of a second, a momentous shift happens in Irius' brain, and controls falls back into his lap, or I guess inside his skull, discarding his fear of the past and the future. Irius dispels the twisted, magnificent nightmare spell, and Team Trauma, now made whole again, appear back on the Savoie road for your battle in exhaustion. You congratulate each other. Good job. Like that one gif with Jerry. No, well done. And Nyx begs Irius to never do it again. Irius calms him with the news that he has forgotten the key. Yay! Don't do it again. Yeah, no. You make a hasty count and sit down for a midnight snack. During it, Hamatia quickly explains what the party is doing right now, mainly killing her mother, who made pie out of children, which is not cool. Irius has a private memory of Iseru, one of his buddies, his barbarian buddy, having a delicious pie in the village of Barovia, and now he's traumatized by it. After sharing some souls, you set up your watch for the night. Irius has the first, and he spends 2 hours of difficult processing, taking stock of how badly he let himself go. Then a raspy voice whispers into his ear, "Finally." A voice that he recognizes. The rest of the party watches go through without a hitch, but with some heavy thoughts. A new morning and a new day of travel begin. Hamatia feels serious on some things. A. The ultimate goal is to end the curse of Barovia. B. To do so, you must defeat Strahd. C. To weaken him, you must take care of the 3 hags, not the crag hag. The 3 hags have been imprisoned by 3 power elemental beings that channel power directly to Strahd. There are some personal reasons to kill Morgan for Hamatia's mother, as well as she and her 2 hags' daughter, Bella and Ophalia, mistreated Hamatia as she grew up. That's a bit of an understatement. And they made pies out of children, which is also not fun. Nix is known for the Kelvin, which is also not cool. So all in all, they are not cool people.
Not cool.
Not cool. You don't get the seal of approval. What is the win? The pie-making factory has been destroyed, but the hags remain. A shipping of orphans has been sent to Vallaki, to Morgantha's home, and now the party feels the worst, or the best if you're Morgantha. So the current quest is to eliminate Morgantha, Bella, and Ophalia, and for that conquest work towards the larger goal of releasing the elemental beings. Towards that end, you must pass through Vallaki, the largest settlement of Barovians in the valley. It will go smoothly as we see Illyria as a lady savior and saint after the party helped over for the former government and saved the village from an invasion from Strad von Zalvich. Illyria shares some other info. Strad told both Ilias' party and King Toma that the lie that the curse started on the lie that the curse started on the everybody when his own people turned on him. When they couldn't kill him, they targeted his villa. Tatiana killed her and used us all to curse him. Sad story. But that's not true, because that was not Strad's wedding to Tatiana, but his brother's. Sergei was also a vampire. Yeah! Strad showed up, clearly mad like shit, killed his brother like a douchebag, and then Tatiana took her life like a G in the sun's light out of despair, dying before the beast could envelop the valley. Olivia? A few hundred years later.
I thought this was a serious recap.
No, serious. Why are you laughing? You're not allowed.
A fucking douchebag.
Cookie, we love you.
Yeah, we do. Carry on.
Valeria, you know, who was born a few years later, is actually the reincarnation of Tatiana. And her abilities have changed in that vein. So she now has weird vampire powers. Ooh.
Look, I can just count back and I look pretty.
Yeah. Now, Strad wants Tatiana still because he's a fucking simp. And so he hunts Leia because he's a fucking simp. And wants to turn her into a vampire. But he has this whole thing where he's like, oh, I can force you to do it, but I don't want you.
Red leader.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the conversation turns to Strad and his relationship with the Protectorate. Irius points out that Strad was very interested in Irius as member of the Copperbeards, which are the ruling dwarf class of the Protectorate, if I remember correctly, and wanted him to deliver a letter to the Protectorate. Strad was angry that Illyria has the Sun Sword, and in return for letting her keep it, she sent a letter to the Protectorate and one to her family, giving him what he wanted out of Irius. A few years later, but he got it. Together, Illyria and Irius are worried by the fear of Duchess... How do I say her name? Nolnel? Nolnel will persuade the Protectorate to aid Strad and send their scholars and arcanists to try and free Strad. Irius reveals that when asked for resources for his return to Domukan to investigate the Valley of Barovia and its mysterious count, the Protectorate refused him and he had to gather mercenaries with his own coin, Sanj. Nyx asks what capability Irius has, and he explains that but his power has three sides. The first is destructive storm magic, which we see when he bolts the shit out of people.
Ultimate power! Yeah.
The second is arcane... This is serious, Bexxy!
Sorry.
The second is arcane investigation magic, and the last kind of magic he has picked up in his time with Barovia is stealing himself. Irius reveals that a voice and a presence have sometimes whispered to him or guided him. In a worried response, Nyx casts Detect Soul Aspect, which is the parallel to detect evil and good in some other lesser tabletop RPGs, and discover that as an undead present, that he has like an undead sort of weird thing attached to it.
Yeah, suck him off, yeah.
Next commences a hashtag commence Nyx interrogation moment, where we basically learn that Irius has no idea what the thing is, or how to get rid of it. And now he has it. Well, shit. All he knows is that he could help him dodge danger, and that together we may want to try and figure out why the fuck there is like a undead smidge on him. but it's fine. It's probably fine. Irius mused that perhaps there is a chance that this undead presence might be helpful to help them if it is so help to shield them from Strad's eyes. Maybe there is a common interest here. Maybe he wants Strad dead, which is great because we want Strad dead, and a lot of people want Strad dead. settling down for the night and the rest of the watches. Slowly summoning all his glory after getting killed. Nix tells another story, which was really, really good. And when Ilias asks Nix about his stories, he realizes about his new traveling companions. Stanley, nice. Memories of his Stanley memories, good and bad, come to him. Nix shares some of his stories of how he was different from the other Stanley, how he left the mist to pursue his dreams of becoming a great writer, of how he guided the diplomats and an innocent into Barovia again to try and prove himself to his family, which turned out to be a big mistake, and now he has reason to make things right again. He reiterates that he is not a Vistani, at least not anymore, hinting that his father has something else. His father was something else, as he plays around with a vial of silver blood. Very quaint of you, very quaint. In turn, Ilias divulges that he met his mother 3 years ago, Madame Eva, who is dead now, or a gargoyle, or both, and gained him 3 cards, the Horseman of Death, the Donjon, and the Myrmidon. He also met her again when she nursed him back to health after his unfortunate fall to Strahd. Nix realizes that Ilias' fate is tangled with hers. Ilias comprehends that she had some ability to see the future as he retells the words that he told him. The Horseman of Death will visit you many times, but will, for a time, not accept your passing. Instead, imprisoned is what you shall be. If you would be released, the Myrmidon might offer a path to triumph. Next door is a bombshell that Mother Eva foretold for a chance for Team Trauma to defeat Strahd, and they would need 3 critical artifacts to achieve that. They already have one, which is the cool Sun Sword. Either way, the version of Strahd you faced inside the nightmare is a grim warning to his power, and we should use the advantage of tasting some of his power in order to defeat him. The next morning, the weather changes into that of a storm rolling up the gates of Barovia. And what we... I think it's Vallaki, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yes, the gates of Vallaki.
Yes,
Yeah,
just
we're
so many
in
mistakes to
Vallaki.
We're at the gates of Vallaki, which was enclosed and very paranoiacally guarded beforehand, is now open wide.
Open for business.
Yeah, that was serious! Yeah, I'm serious!
Yeah, I mean, that
We're
was
proud
pretty,
of you.
very proud. I do like it when you bring in your own personality in the recap.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, I'm trying not to get jealous by DC 30. Focus. Have a good time.
I mean, I do have a
For all
solution
of
to
us.
this, Bexxy.
No, we're not gonna do a beach episode. Shut up.
Wow!
Anyway. I know you too well. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Cookie. Sorry if I was so unnecessarily harsh there.
Good
I'm sorry.
job, my man. You did it.
No, it's okay. I get it.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you, Bexxy.
Okay, good. I'm a little bit flustered. Where are we going? We are going here.
On an adventure.
Apparently, we're not going to the beach tonight.
There are no beaches in Barovia. Well, there are, but they're more like mud.
I mean, yeah, but it's the best we're gonna get.
Yeah. I mean, you should take what you have, I guess.
Make our own beach.
With blackjack.
Where do we get the
blackjack.
sand?
And hookers.
Anyway, alright, let's get into tonight's episode. As you enter into Vallaki in the downpour and in the howling cold wind, you see a variety of structures. There are some small houses made of rough wooden planks and some larger buildings with wide wooden support beams bordering a whitewashed clay. Many of the larger buildings have their second floors jutting out on the sides, creating an overhang above the cobbled street below. And some even have wooden balconies and banisters. The once pristine white walls are now yellow with age. The wood stain of the support beams has crept onto them, has rot crept onto them like rotting and decaying teeth. But here and there, in the alleyways or beside the houses, there's some signs of industry and of effort, of tools, wood, and clay being used to mend the issues around. There's also signs of discarded and often broken furniture and clutter in despondent trash piles here and there. But you're glad to see that there is no signs of the remnants of the festival decorations, nor any banners or flags or scribbled messages or Vargas's "all will be well" paranoia. There is, though, one sign that you pass by, well made, hanging from a stone wall of a house that says, "Remember your quota." The streets are surprisingly busy despite the bad weather, perhaps even more so than what you witnesses in Vargas's Vallaki. Groups of cloaked, dirty, and threadbare Vallakians strive with purpose from place to place, often carrying baskets, tools, or other resources with them. When their eyes meet yours, only emptiness stares back, and you quickly coin them to be halvers. Then a covered rickshaw, pulled by a rougher-looking Vallakian, zooms past your wagon in a hurried pace, the person being transported within covered by the tightly pulled fabric acting as a roof. A different Vallakian walks past you in the opposite direction. They are clearly different by the virtue of their reaction. Open suspicion at first, but when the bookbinder recognizes Nyx in front of the wagon, there's a friendly and excited greeting. I had him here, if you remember.
Did you ever meet him?
Nyx, definitely did.
Nyx did.
Oh.
John Witch, owner of the bookbinder store, John Witch and Sons, walks with a warm and sturdy outfit and is carrying nothing but a smile. Behind him, 3 varying form of Vallakians in far dirtier countenance follows him closely at a respectful distance, their arms full of various bounties from different stores, and their eyes are focused on the ground. But rolling past, the cobbled streets are bordered with stretches of wild grass, but where there are open spaces between and behind the houses, there used to be well-kept farming and husbandry plots. Now, as your gaze sweeps over them through the rain and the mist, you seem somewhat mistreated and forgotten. Soon, you come upon a familiar spot along the main thoroughfare through the length of Vallaki. The spot where the Church of St. Andrel flanks the road on your left and the orphanage underneath Rector's Balasco flanking the road on your right. Several points of interest can be seen here. Where these respectively large structures stood, there's only burned, scarred, and abandoned plots of land with sizable piles of blackened wood. The church and the orphanage is no more. Beside the somewhat melted wrought iron gate that marked the entrance to the Church of St. Andrel, there's a massive wooden spike hoisted into the ground. At the top of this 4-meter-tall spike, there's a desiccated and decomposing humanoid corpse, staked from the bottom up and out through the mouth. And when I say desiccated, I mean seemingly drained of all fluid, making it distinctly hard to perhaps tell who she was. A sign hangs from her blackened and tied feet, clearly and neatly saying traitor. And thirdly, perching atop a black wooden beam closer to the gates on the church side, there is a creature. A purple, spiky creature with wings, and there is some black smoke that oozes from this creature. Illyria, Nyx, you recognize this immediately. You fought a swarm of them, harassing Irina and Ismark's mansion in the village of Barovia during your first nights here in the mists. The creature tips his head quickly to the side as its infernal red eyes watches you, and then it takes flight, disappearing into the haze of rain and mist above. All of this makes you pause, and the wagon stops in the middle of the ground, and you might want to discuss what you have just seen. Team Trauma, what do you want to do?
I don't like this.
What the hell happened here?
We're gonna find out.
Different from what I remember.
So much has changed in such a short amount of time.
We need to head to the Mardikovs.
Do you know what these purple things are?
We fought them when we first got here.
Oh! So are they
They're-
evil?
No, they are more like imps or so that commanded by probably Strahd at this point, but they were persistent in trying to break through the manner in which Irina in Barovia and her brother were staying, and it was one of the reasons why we had to leave.
Ah, I see. Weird.
Well,
I
in
am-
that case, maybe we should find another place to be. I don't know where we can park this thing.
Wait. I mean, Illyria, the church and orphanage are clearly in the ruins. I don't know if Asphodel has been through here, but this would certainly enrage her to no extent.
I mean, for the people in charge of this, I would say I hope she didn't. On the other hand, I'd mostly be upset I wasn't invited.
I'm just going to take a quick minute. I need to see who that is, pointing at the skewered corpse in the ruins of the orphanage.
No, it was on the church side, but outside of the
On the
gates.
church side.
Basically
Outside the gate.
beside the road there. And it's like Vlad the Impaler style, you know?
Yeah, I get it. And I guess I'm just gonna see if it's a recognizable person or like the cause of death, other than skewer through the body.
Sure.
Because you mentioned that she looked drained, so I'm just thinking like maybe there's vampire bites on her neck or something like that.
Make me a medicine intelligence for the medical diagnosis, and then just make me an intelligence check for trying to remember.
Ooh.
9.
9.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
Woo! Now you're a little bit taken aback. There's also a little bit of a smell. It might be why it's spicier, because there's not really anybody living close by. Illyria, you may also make me an intelligence check to see if you remember.
That's just bullying.
Enjoy the trauma.
No.
All right.
Probably for the best.
It's strange. There's too many things, and it's hard to tell. It's not somebody you recognize as like on a glance. Who knows?
And with the ruins, since it's right next to it, the church and the orphanage, knowing how Asphodel fights, are there any signs of giant dragonborn werewolf scratches, scars with ice? She's spooky when you think about it.
Yeah, scary. Especially now.
Like, I guess he's like
Yeah,
thinking,
make me a
okay,
perception intelligence on that.
yeah, 'cause he's specifically looking like whether or not, you know, if Asphodel came here, like this is where her bond was, right? Like she was very drawn to these places, and whether or not
Yeah.
there's a potential. If I guess Nyx is thinking if Asphodel has lost her mind through werewolfdom, could she have done this? I suppose. Sorry, what were you saying? Investigation?
I mean, that depends upon if you want to like go in there and spend a couple of minutes investigation, and it will give you more clear results if you succeed. But you can also
Yeah.
just do a perception intelligence, and we will leave it up to the dice.
I'm not. No, I think Nyx would be more concerned about just making sure that that possibility is not the reality here. So a simple look over is not exactly what Nyx wants to do here. He wants to do a more thorough check.
Okay, then give me an investigation gun.
It's spooky.
Damn.
What's happened today? Do you want any help?
Help me look for Asphodel remnants.
Just an old man. I cannot be of much service to you.
Really help me find some things. Make sure that Asphodel didn't do this.
Oh, my disc!
Arius helps the old man. Come on, come on.
Thank you, kind sir.
Of course, of course.
Oh, how
Get
I long for the days of youth.
Oh, you said youth. Good.
Illyria helps. Okay.
Might
Okay,
not
Mike
work.
not working?
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
no. Okay,
then
so
then make
ro-
me investigation. Or do you want him to roll, or you do? I can hear something now. Yeah. Hey.
Oh, okay. She's gonna help him. She's investigation sort of Nyx's thing.
Okay. So.
So she
She supports.
gets out,
Yeah.
helps him look.
All right. Then roll again.
I did.
Oh
a 9.
no!
What the hell's going on here to turn Nyx into this sort of
Dude,
like
that
inept?
mansion was
He
not
is
good.
like, well, I mean, to
It's
be honest,
because
it
he
is-
spends too much time with Illyria.
Okay, but what is definitely noticeable, like, unless you rolled a critical one, is that this didn't happen like yesterday. The wooden beams are soaked. It's already like rotting and falling apart. When it burned down, it was at least a couple of days ago.
But I suppose there would be obvious signs of whether or not it burned down or was torn down, right?
Oh, well, it could have been torn down and then burned down. But like,
I guess it, like if there's very obvious scarring, like massive claws and stuff like that, or if it's like literally fire. I mean, those are just like obvious
no,
things. to
it
see.
has burned down to the point where like it's just basically coal dust that is left.
Okay, so unless I'm a forensic expert, I wouldn't notice. Well, it's such a disappointment to see this. I mean, in some part, the orphanage was haunted with a spirit, if you remember. But the church, I wonder where Father Lucian is.
I really hope he's okay.
Me too. If you saw those things, those weren't creatures that would necessarily be around populated places unless they were welcome here. It's not like they were scavenging, it's more like they are scouts.
I don't
So,
like this one bit.
Vallaki and the new management wasn't exactly what we expected, but
Well, we kind of knew what was going to happen.
I would suggest we be on our guard if the population is under heavy restriction. Did you see that sign? There's something about the
I
quota.
did.
I think we should proceed
We should
carefully. Maybe we should
check
leave the
if-
cart here and proceed on foot from here.
Probably. We should check if the Mardikovs are still around.
Right. Ah, true. The Blue Feather Inn, right?
Yes.
Water in.
Blue Water Inn. Let's try and see if it still stands. And Nyx goes back to the cart.
Looking outside the cart, how many people would you approximately say are around the staked, decomposed body?
There seems to be a major road that goes past. Actually, let's so it's less confusing. Let's go back to the overview map so we can refresh our memories.
Whoa, okay. Haven't seen this.
No, indeed.
Oh, you're new. You're shiny.
You're shiny.
This is so cool.
And already have so much trauma.
So, currently you have traveled down this road. These were the houses that you saw outside of the gate. Your Hamartia reacted somewhat to one of the houses out here. Then you had the gates where like the doors were completely discarded and it was open and there was no guards at all. And then you have traveled down the road and you have gotten to this point here. So this used to be the church, and this used to be the orphanage, and they're both burned down. So there's no houses like behind these two structures. So it's not like you see any person that is going onto the burned down plots. They're walking down the road back and forth.
Okay, and the staked body is in kind of like open view to everybody
Yes.
walking past. Okay.
Yes.
Nyx and Illyrius, you two come back. Illyrius will just look up and... So, I'm still a little puzzled as to why we're here, but you seem particularly keen on that church and the other building. If you are curious, and if there's a way for us to get a hold of that body, I could maybe get some answers from it. It's an option.
I think the stake went through her mouth. So I don't know if
What's
she'll
in
be able
there?
to speak. If that's
I don't
your
know
thing.
either. Might be. They have to have some way of speaking. They just have to have a mouth. I don't like talking about the details of it, but it's risky anyways.
Well, keep it in mind, but for now we just check if the inn is still there.
Listen, I don't want to give advice to you youngsters, but if we should, in the dead of night, make the body disappear, perhaps then we could question it and return it on a later date. Perhaps by morning.
Illyria just kind of like can't help but laugh and just like looks towards Not Hamartia and it's just like, you're enjoying this way too much, Grandpa.
I don't enjoy this. It saddens me greatly.
It is a solid suggestion that we come back and maybe remove this quote-unquote traitor for such eerie-ish shenanigans. But maybe there are actually people still living that we still know that could offer information without, dealing with decomposing things.
Yeah,
Icky.
that's
Yes.
a good point. I never been here before, so just let me know what I'm looking out for and what I should look out for.
All you need to know right now is this is not the town that we left behind.
Alright.
We put it under new management, and that management was aligned to Strahd, whereas the former management was all sorts of batshit crazy. So it was the lesser of two evils, but still very much evil.
Oh no. Well, just keep in mind to introduce me as Harold Wilakovich IV, please.
I need that written down.
Right,
It is in the chat.
I'll call you Harry.
Harry is good too.
Okay, Grandpa Harry.
That's a good point, actually. I haven't seen, I don't remember seeing many dwarves in Barovia. So, in case anyone asks questions and I'm not there, just say that I'm a herbalist trying to find some exotic herbs. Something
I don't
for
know,
medical
but
use.
I was fully expecting you to say a very hairy shot.
That works too.
Jesus.
Wait, in this city, don't do that. Don't do that. Wait. No.
Being a child of Barovia is dangerous.
Yeah, you can sex toys.
Okay.
Jesus.
Or pies.
Sorry.
Or werewolves.
Oh. All right. Easy enough said than done.
There
I'll
is
lay low.
a-
Follow you.
There is an inn further up the road to the left, which there are friends there. People that we can rely on. At least last time we were here, we could. I don't know what is going on here. Neither of us do. There were people here before. It was a thriving community, albeit heavily restricted and very racist. But people nonetheless. And then we see these fiend-like creatures freely moving amongst the rubble. I don't like it. And I'm pretty sure this place is, if possible, even more dangerous than when we left.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so friends do sound good. I guess we'll have to find a place to park the horses.
We'll see if it's possible to park up by the inn. They had stables there.
Great. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Carrying on. Through Vallaki, there is just an increase in the amount of people being busy. You see more signs, even more so as you get closer to the city center, of renovation, of productivity in industry. There's definitely a pep in the step of many around. But you still see these clusters of halberds moving about, always carrying things or on the mission towards something. And these more expressive, more affluent looking Vallakians being taken care of by at least one halberd. What is of interest of you when you get close to the Blue Water Inn by the junction over here is this place here that you pass by. This building didn't used to be this tall. It seems that there has been extensions added to it recently. And up there on the roof, not one, not two, but 3 spiky purple creatures perch on the roof.
Great.
There's also a lot of Vallakians around that from time to time enter the building or exit it. It seems pretty popular.
Is there a sign out front?
Yes. And it spells out this.
Shadows.
Respite in. Is it in place of a location that we know of?
No. This is definitely something new. There used to be a big building here, but it wasn't used for this. And some floors above have been added to it. Everybody make me a perception composure.
Okay.
Well.
That's a 6.
Oh,
My
can
eyesight is
Can
not
I
good.
freaking roll higher than a 3?
Oh no!
Let me see here.
Or higher than a 10? We got pepper feelings.
Wait, roll 1d20 plus 3 plus 3. Here we go, baby! It's
Oh my
pretty
god!
good. That's pretty good.
It's a 6. It's not fucking good.
Bexxy, you took all of our good die away!
Nothing. Carry on.
We
Is
will
that really
never
well?
know.
12, 6, 6, 12. Wow.
We shall never know.
Someone is watching us. Nix peers at the spiky things, with squinted eyes. Trying to see if they are like watching them, or they're just like, replacement crows.
Sure, give me a perception intelligence as you peer through the rain and the mist. Like, as you lean up, like, your face gets pelted by icy cold rain, and like, to squint. Ooh. No, it's impossible to tell when it's that far up.
I'm not sure if this is a place that we should focus on going into right away, if at all. I don't know. I mean, if it's an inn, it seems very popular to be this big. This wasn't here last time we were here, I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
No.
it's quite a short time to found a new business.
Plus, like, the building, we've only been gone a couple of weeks. Like, this is a remarkable amount of industry to happen in a short amount of time.
Perhaps there is magic at work.
Perhaps so.
Not sure.
I don't
Strange.
think you can build this big of a house with solid foundations in 2 weeks. Such things require great care, Lady Illyria.
Let's keep on going.
That's
Let's
Saint
note it.
Illyria to you.
Yes, yes, my Lady Saint.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Moving past it, you go into more familiar street. Of course, you pass by Thimdall's Armaments, the blacksmith that is a neighbor to the Blue Water Inn, and his doors are open. And there's some people working around the house, managing not 1, not 2, but 3 forges. And there's a lot of sound and activity surrounding his shop. If you remember Rowley, the old blacksmith.
Yeah. Given this is the first sign of actual industry, or like a town being a town, I guess Nix is just gonna look inside to see what they're making. Just like pierce through the window as we walk by, I guess.
Make me a quick perception intelligence. Come on.
Come on, baby. Come on. Over
Come on.
12 this time. Come on. Oh, yeah.
It seems to be various things. It's not like you don't see weapons not being made, at least. That would have immediately stood out to you. But what exactly they're making, you're not sure. But it's not weapons.
It's not armor or weapons as far as we can see. It's not like
Yes.
they're building an army. They're
Yes.
just like sort of building something.
Indeed.
I mean, fuck it. I'll just say, if I don't know what it is, I'm gonna just like stick my head and say like, "Hello. Sorry to disturb, but just curious. It looks interesting what you're doing. Just, what's up? We've been gone just a couple of weeks. Seemed like this whole town's got itself into a little bit of a dizzy."
5 faces look up to you. All of them various Vallakians, and they meet you with this empty stare as they're deciding if you are a threat or somebody they shouldn't think about. And after a second of looking at you, they decide you're harmless and they go back to work.
I can recognize him as Haviz.
Yes.
God damn it. Where is all the actual people? These seems like drones. I haven't seen a single, well, except for that bookmaker earlier on.
There has to be people.
Okay,
Right?
let's. Well, I don't know. I'm speculating here just as much as you are.
It's been a while since I visited a town in Barovia, but this is oddly productive, oddly alive, in a strange way. I concur.
Wait. You think this town is alive?
For Barovian standards, as far as I recall, yes.
People aren't dying in the streets. That's you got that one down. But in comparison to where this place was when we left, sure it was xenophobic and all sorts of bad culture. But seems like this place
It's a
is
shame.
barren.
Well, perhaps we should acquaint ourselves with one of your allies then rather quickly.
Let's keep going. The inner ways, maybe, hopefully. And Nyx looks visibly a little bit distraught about what could actually be coming up.
All right. Then, rolling past Thimdall's armaments, you do roll onto the lawn of the Blue Water Inn.
Nyx lets out a sigh as he sees the building still stands.
Grey smokes issues from the chimney of this large two-story wooden building with a stone foundation and a sagging tile roof, where there are no ravens perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall. Despite it being lunchtime, there's no great hustle or bustle of Vallakians coming and going for a quick and warm meal like you were used to when you visited Vallaki the first time around, but it's not devoid of life. On the lawn outside of the Blue Water Inn, there's 4 Barovians playing ball with each other, but they don't seem to have that much fun, merely mechanically passing the ball between each other in an anti-clockwise manner with no expression on their faces. They don't even look up as you approach with your wagon. And secondly, inside of the tavern, you can see through the windows some figures and shadows moving.
Are there any ravens around?
No,
No.
didn't say that.
I mean, yeah, but I'm asking about like around the inn specifically.
And make me a perception intelligence.
You're funny.
If you're able to.
I'm calling it as a 6.
If you're able to.
15!
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
What the fuck is? Are you
Yeah.
cheating?
Damn, look at that. Never seen such a high number. No, you don't see any ravens. And it's not like they have decided not to perch on the inn, and because last time you were here, right, they were kind of all in the area, some of the trees, some of the other buildings around. Like, they don't want to be overcrowding the place. You know how independent ravens can be sometimes. But no, not even a single feather can be seen.
Nyx looks at Illyria. Concerned look.
I don't like this.
And see if there's anyone we know inside.
Yeah.
You easily park, jump off the wagon, and you approach the main doors.
Hey, opens the main door.
You open the main door?
Hey, well, I just tried to.
Okay. As you approach the doors swing open in your face, Nyx.
Okay. I like try and dodge it.
To
Shield.
Wait, is that Asphodel?
to reveal indeed a 2-meter tall silver dragonborn in shining, enchanted Saint Markovia armor and hairless brows and a very concerned look in her face. There you are.
Wait! What?
It's good to see you.
Hello, old friend. It's good to see you during these troubling times.
Who's
Nick's
the grand?
straight up like try
Ah,
to hug.
I see.
I immediately sort of like try and like glomp her, I suppose. So like run into her space and like try and hug her, but obviously she's clad in now plate armor. She is not squishy or warm at all. Not that she was very warm, but still like you know, you hear this boom as like Nick's like just throws his body, his arms around her. Says, "Oh my God, it's so good to see you. I had feared for the worst after seeing what has become of the church and the orphanage. And what are you doing here?"
She blinks slowly at you as she looks down and kind of pats you awkwardly back. What I'm doing here? I am delivering Cheska and Melivoy safely back to Vallaki, as discussed. I arrived sometime yesterday.
So, do you know what's going on here?
Well, Danica has filled me in a little bit, and Mariella, who arrived at dawn. But that's another discussion to be had. She's being taken care of by Irvin upstairs.
Wait, what does that mean?
Mortally wounded, unfortunately.
Did she give you the rundown about what's happened since we've been gone?
Quickly, yes, but it was without details. I demanded to know what I needed to know, but after that I thought it was prudent she would rest. It was disconcerting to see her so damaged. So, the orphanage burned down. The church too. Headed towards... Can I say it out loud? The mother?
The mother. Ah, right. No, I'm still not following.
In what regard are you too slow to catch up, Nix?
Look, we just walked into town, right? And there's no walls. There's no people around. There are flying imps everywhere. There's a fucking new inn called the Shadows Respite that came out of nowhere. And like halvers are roaming around everywhere. What the hell happened here, Asphodel? All we know is that there is a new shipment of orphans heading their way to once again become pastry. And we sent a message. We sent a raven to find you. Did it find you?
Well, Moriella found me this dawn. As I said. And I'm itching to do something about it. But I've heard from Moriella that you were on your way. So, and I myself do not exactly know what is going on. I'm trying to take stock of things. Danica had a lot to tell.
Right.
I do not know how to do this properly.
Okay. Like Nick puts his like hands to his temples, like trying to figure the shit out. Do you think we should go and try to speak to Daniel as well? Like, hear it for ourselves to try and figure out what's going on. But you've been here what a day, you said. Okay, the children, sure, keep them safe, because there's some weird shit going on around here. But this town is not how we left it. Have you been to the manor? I mean, why did you bring them here? Is it burned down? I need answers. I need details. Ask for that. Anything.
All right, let us not speak here. From what I've heard from Danica, there are new eyes in the sky.
I saw that.
Oh,
We have.
Bubble and Spiky.
Yes, very unkind.
Quick question,
Oh.
Bexxy. Is this person, are they cladded in anything Argent Purifier related? Something that areas would recognize?
Oh yeah. Proudly on her neck is the Argent Purifier dragon sigil. She is a knight of the
Ooh.
Argent Purifiers.
There we go. Alright, thank you.
You know what? Let's go for the cinematic view instead. I hope that then we don't need vision. I can just do it this way around.
Ooh!
Cinematic.
Astroda takes a step to the side to she's broad, she takes up the space, but she takes a step to the side, and you can see Danica over her shoulder standing by the bar like she normally do, fussing a little bit over Brom and Bray, who is sitting there on the chairs in front of her and eating lunch. And she has this towel over her shoulder, a hand resting on her hip, and she gives you a small wave and a smile.
I do a quick like glance around the tavern to see if there's like anyone like is it filled with havers? Are there actual people here? Like, are they staring at me or staring at us? Like, is it kind of like one of those situations where it's like in a western where we walk through the door and everyone stops, like the pianist stops playing, the bard stops saying things, and everyone looks at us?
Go away, Huey. I got rid of you into the office for a reason.
I need an opinion.
I don't care.
Sniff the bottle.
What the fuck?
Sniff it.
What the
What a
fuck
strange
is
conversation
going on?
Let's not go to that side of the tavern.
What is wrong?
Meanwhile, a strange voice comes out from the kitchen behind the bar.
It's Irvin! Here you have new art for Brom
Ew, you did the thing.
and Bray.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. There is only a select number of individuals in this tavern. Sitting awkwardly in a corner, looking pretty solemn, is the two wolf hunters, Yevgeny and Soldar. You remember that they were didn't speak much, and were pretty serious, and often visited the tavern both during lunch and evening when they were not out on their forays into the forest. Where Soldar was this half-elf, burly, big, long, frazzled beard and somewhat like almost thinning hairline. He's almost going bald. whilst Yevgeny were this very few-worded half-orc, one of the
Oh yeah, the cute half-orc.
yes, one of the few non-half-elves you've seen in Barbovia. There is also sitting around a table a pretty tired and frazzled-looking Jessica, but who gives you all a fresh smile. The brooding kind of nod of Millevoy, also looking a little bit worse for wear, and a pretty sad smile from one Father Lucian Petrovich. Otherwise, there is nobody else around. And you know that this is, the busy hours. And yet it only seems to be the family, the two hunters, and then Asphida's party inside of the Blue Water Inn.
Am I right in the assumption that all of the business went to that other inn that popped up?
I mean, you can make your own conclusions from what you know, but it was certainly a lot more popular. And you saw activity outside.
Illyria is just saying that thought out loud.
Oh, okay. So it was not to me. Sorry, I shut up.
Possibly, but let's find out. And Nyx sees Father Lucian and Millevoy and the kids, and he's has a sort of weak smile on his face with a look of concern, a furrowed brow, and looking around, and then makes eye contact with Father Lucian. He goes, "Father, always good to see a friendly face here, despite the circumstances." And he goes to shake his hand.
He stands up pretty slowly, and he sways a little in place. You can see up close that he is pretty pasty, and with deep, heavy-set dark rings underneath his eyes. And he shakes your hand, trying to give you the best smile he can. Nyx and Saint Illyria. It's so good to see you again. I am. Thank the Morning Lord that you're all right.
Just Illyria, please.
Oh, right. I remember.
What's going on here? I mean, it's good to see that you're safe and sound after what we saw with the church burning down.
Shh. Sorry.
Pay attention, Joey. I was concerned with your well-being after seeing the church in the ruins. Would you be so kind as to inform us what's happened over the past couple of weeks here in Vallaki since we've been gone?
Right. Yes, it's been a large change, has it not? So, most of our lives. I think Miss Danica is better at explaining what has happened in general. Seeing who she is, but I can definitely tell my side of the story. How long has it been now? Almost 2 weeks ago. I had my normal service at dawn, when suddenly one side of the church's wall violently erupted into flames. I sadly did not see who started it, nor did any of my acolytes. In fact, 2 of my acolytes died, saving people from that place. I almost did too. But the Morning Lord has different plans for me, it seems. I was out cold for a week. I've been coughing a lot, you see. But I've healed myself. It happened so quickly. It's just one wall was ablaze, and then the second, and it's just uncontrollable. be rushed out on the street. Parts of the roof was already starting to collapse. As I said, we ferried. We tried to run in and get some stragglers. That's when I lost some of my acolytes. Some of my congregation died that day as well. And we waited for the guards. What is left of them, at least. Burgomistress Wachter's response. Eventually she came. But at that point, even with their best efforts, it was too late. Some of the flames must have jumped over the wind over to the orphanage, because as we were trying to save people from it, the orphanage was also starting to burn. Thankfully, they had more of a head start than we did, and we got everyone out from there.
You didn't see what happened?
No, I wasn't that concerned about who and why at the time. I was more
Naturally.
concerned about making sure everybody was safe and saving the church. But
I'm so sorry to hear that, Father. I mean, that was your home, as well as a place of worship for the Mother Lord. And now the town is completely transformed. I'm assuming Danica will tell us more about that.
I can just make sure to have these conversations inside these days. You don't know who is listening and where they are, perhaps above your head.
Nix looks up.
Well, not inside of him. We would
Right.
know. But
Right, of course. It's just... Yes, it seems like business isn't doing so well, Danica. Is Irvin still cooking?
really? How could you tell? And she starts like angrily wiping down, like doing these circles on her bar, and with the towel, and it's already spotless. She has probably cleaned it 5 times already.
Please, like, we have just come into town. We did not expect anything like this to have happened. So, we're trying to get some sort of information. Some sort of latest events. Like, what's the news?
Right. Everything was kind of normal for a couple of days. Like, everybody was just trying to, I don't know, recover from the craziness of those 2 days. You know, a lot of people died. There was a lot of confusion. And then the Vistani attacked the gates. Yeah, everybody needed a moment. But then Wachter got to work. It started with the event of... they started calling it the Day of Broken Families and Hearths.
Days of Broken Families and Hearths?
Yes, its name is kind of grand. It's a little bit silly, but it's apt enough. There has been a shuffling of the organization that is Vallaki. Wachter has made it clear there's a class divide between the Halvers and the Horde now, more so than anything I've seen before. I mean, the Halvers has always been exploited because of their, well, you know, lack. But not to this degree. I mean, it's organized, this exploitation. The poorer districts of Vallaki, mostly the lakeward to the north, beyond Lady Wachter's own mansion, they were cleared out of people. All Halvers, no matter from which family they were in, were taken and relocated in these smaller houses on the outskirts of Vallaki, and then the halls that were left were given the more nicer, you know, houses here in the middle of Vallaki. I mean, you got to understand, parents, but take it from the children, children take it from their parents, brothers and sisters, cousins, married couples either, but I wonder who would ever want to enter in that kind of union. But they do. Now, the Halvars are supposed to live with each other, and we, the whole, are supposed to live with us. Oh, right, there is also the Reformation Center. It's been turned into some kind of boarding house for the Halvars as well. Arns has taken over, some kind of master, and is sending them out on various projects. He's called the head wrangler now, or just the master. He has certainly climbed his way up in this world from serving Lady Fiona for many years. And then the Halvars are sent out to various projects around town. I think you have seen on your way here all the hustle and bustle. I mean, it's good, I guess, but they don't really have the ability to say no either. And then some are also sent into the homes of the whole. At least everybody is promised at least one Halvar to work with for them, at least for half of a day. The bigger households or the shops are given even more. At least these 4 poor fuckers outside were given to me to do as whatever I pleased with them, and I don't want them in my house. They're
So
just
you
sad.
told them to play ball.
I told them to go outside and play or do whatever they wanted, and that is what they took from it.
Right.
Lyra doesn't quite know what to say. She does opens her mouth several times and then just stops trying to say anything.
But it's not really been a bed of roses either. I mean, for the whole. There's a quota now.
A quota. What is this
I
quota?
did see a sign.
Yes. In Lady Wachter's grand plan of instilling economical prosperity inside of the town, everyone of the whole is supposed to do as X amount of productivity per week.
How do you measure productivity?
Okay, I've been too kind to ask, too polite to ask, but who the fuck is that?
Oh, my apologies.
And who the fuck is this small man?
I am Harold Vilakovich IV, but you may call me Harry for short.
I think Illyria just kind of instinctively asks which one.
Harry with an I or just an A?
No, with an H.
H.
Oh, you mean...
A
no,
or
I'm
R?
not
Because I
Harry.
would call Harry your
Harry.
buddy over there, the short one.
But I am also Harry. No, I'm Harry, and he's just Harry.
Harry.
I come from Kresk to seek shelter in a settlement. Since winter is setting, and I cannot support myself anymore. He can introduce himself, this strapping young lad.
He is with us, Danica. They both are.
I used to be a potter back in the day.
Interesting traveling
I'm retired now.
companions. But you can vouch for them?
Yes, we can vouch for them. They seem harmless, but they have their merits.
Wait, Mariana told me now that you're traveling with a shapeshifter.
Right. That would be...
Which one of it is it? The one that is just Harry or the one named Harry?
Curious, can you try and figure it out yourself? Maybe this is a testament to how well they can shapeshift.
He's a little baffled. He looks up towards you, Amalia. Come on.
I mean, the one that is overselling their performance right now, I would be concerned if that was your shapeshifter, because this is a little bit too much.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, Grandpa.
Okay, so I may not be an actual grandfather. Since I didn't bear...
Illyria just kind of face palms.
I would ask you to be discreet, though, since I am shapeshifting right now. Not as a means to deceive you, but as a means to protect myself.
Yes, I understand that, but please, can you drop this accent? It's making me cringe how much is hurting you.
I'm willing to speak in my native tongue, if that's what you mean. And you see this old man like speaking on my
That's
I don't know
oddly
what
worse.
is more creepy.
That's oddly worse.
Oh
No
god.
offense, Amalia.
I mean, you're putting me on a spot. You're saying that my old man performance is boring and cliche, and then you are...
No, your old man performance is great.
Thank you. Anyway, yes, I'm a shapeshifter. My apologies for deceiving you. It's for protecting myself, not to deceive you, even though I would enjoy deceiving you.
Yeah,
Well met. Formidable ally to have.
But I'm Hamatia, by the way, not Harry. And I'm not Harry as well. Just so we make that
I
clear.
mean, the two names are pretty similar when you squint at it.
Yes, I live near Vallaki, so I am aware of the newer renovations, and I am mildly concerned by them.
Well, me too.
But the question still stands, Danikar. How is a quota measured in success? What is a quota? What must I mean? If you're doing some productivity, like what are you doing to be productive to measure whether or not you've achieved your quota?
You know what? I don't really know how she's keeping track on everything, but she got a lot of BCBs, a big bureaucracy now working underneath her. You have this report card, you deliver it every week, and they decide through, I guess, reading the clouds what is enough, depending upon what you're doing. Like, Father Lucian here hasn't really been faring well because his sermons being had in my backyard are not considered vital for prosperity.
So they also decide what productive means.
Indeed. And since I don't really have many customers anymore, my quota is also very low.
Well, at the very least, I can help raise your quota by 1. But,
Kind
what
sir,
would,
come in.
what would happen if you didn't meet your quota?
Well, there is the carrot and the stick in Lady Walker's new world. The carrot is certain tax incentives and food and drink being either free or heavily discounted at the Shadow's Respite. The stick. And she looks over towards Father Lucian, who kind of looks down into his lap, and he squeezes his fingers tight in kind of this laced posture, tense, as he's trying to recover from a memory. That's when the blood type comes in.
The blood tithe.
Yeah. the new resident of vampires bring about this big cauldron. They come up to everybody who has not made their quota due this week around dusk, and then they demand a blood sacrifice.
Oh, how much?
Well, depends upon how much you're not made your quota.
Wait, so they can bleed people dry?
Ah, to an inch of their life, considering how far the illusion has been doing.
Oh.
Suppose that explains things. Scary, huh? Well,
Where are those vampires held up? Do they have like a headquarters? Were they in the old burg? No, not.
2 places. The Shadow's Respite and the old coffin maker's shop.
How apt.
Yeah, and they're really splendid at marketing themselves, aren't they?
It just seems a little lazy, if anything.
I mean, at this point, they have the run of the done.
And Lady Vakter, she is all done with this?
Well, the official reasoning for all of this is that we shall try to pull our bootstraps up and try and make the lives in Barovia as good as we can and prepare for the influx of trade and people that has been promised by Lord Strahd if these letters are delivered to the Protectorate. And
Arius grimaces about.
And the
So
blood
that's
type
Azaria.
is to keep the vampires in the castle happy without murdering anybody. I mean, sometimes, from time to time, people tend to go missing in the night. This way, they don't. I mean, it's horrible. But I guess it's better in a strange way.
I mean, I can see beyond. Well, if I was to like ignore the absolute atrocities here of bloodletting, living underneath a tyrant vampire lord, coming up with some sort of currency, it kind of seems okay. It's still absolutely horrific, but it's either that or you go missing in the night, and okay, it seems to be a tough situation that you're in regardless with the whole
That's
bloodletting.
why it's infuriating, you see, because it makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense. So I can't really be angry at it.
Well,
So,
it makes sense until they decide. It doesn't make sense. Are they not in control of everything? If they decide someone didn't meet their quota, they'll just deal punishment.
I mean, wasn't Vargas in control of everything before? And he put us in... Well, thankfully not my family. We were still useful to him. But in
Right.
that mind prison and the torture... Lady
Right,
Wachter
right,
just
yeah.
impales people.
yes, we saw that. Any particular story with that
Yeah.
situation by the gate, the western gate?
Yes, you walked past the poor Mrs. Arasek. Yelena Arasek.
We remember her?
Make me an intelligence check with advantage.
Ooh.
We know that Adrian was
Yeah,
an Arasak, right?
then you
Right.
do remember that.
Yeah, I have it in my list here,
Yeah.
but I don't think we ever met a mother.
That's a 19 for me.
Damn.
Oh,
And I had been in Vallaki quite often as
Yeah, with your
as a-
mom. Yeah.
as a pie merchant, as a former pie merchant.
Yeah, you might know stuff that the party doesn't. Wow.
Wah, wah.
As a dutiful member that met their quota.
God.
Before quotas. Yes. High quota. Sorry, do you want me to roll still?
Yeah, if you want to.
Oh, okay. Was it
Illyria can also as well. Bowie, you're not allowed.
20, keep higher one. What is the just intelligence?
Yeah. But Advantage.
What is this game? How?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it seems for everybody but you, it has worn off.
I need to. Can I just like roll like 20 times just to make sure this?
Just
Just
20,
you
please.
do 20d20. Okay, roll them all or roll them all together.
I want to see at least 10 nat ones. Come on, baby.
It's gonna be like a whole bunch of pyro.
Yep.
Yeah, you just got rid of all of them.
But they are quite a few. They're pretty low.
Well, that's average, right? 200.
Yeah, that's true. It's very average.
Yeah. You're completely average, Adrian.
Nice.
That's not what my mother said.
Yes, my parents call me special too.
Well, apart from.
Anyway. Okay. Illyria, you remember from talking to Lady Wachter during the dinner in her house when she presented the plan of the rebellion, and she sold her side of the story. That she mentioned the Arasek are a noble family that were deep in cahoots with Vallaki. You also heard Adrian during your run-ins with him. Adrian, as I remind everybody, was one of the members of Lady Fiona Wachter's book club, with quotation marks, which was a cover for kind of the brewing rebellion that she started with prominent figures in Vallaki, and who all of them share the shield touch spell. Who they got that, who knows? He mentioned that he didn't agree with his family, with where their loyalties lay, and he didn't care for them. And then also during the festival, you saw Lady Arasek and Lord Arasek in the crowd, but you didn't know who it was, really. You might have been able to see the familiarity, like you see Adrian in them, but you didn't really talk to them or meet them. But that is what you know of them. And Hamardia, indeed, the Araseks were wealthy people, and so if the Araseks bought pie, it was a good payday. They own the Arasek stockyard, which is in the east side of the town, which is basically a big resource depot where they gather and they house and they sell basic resources to people. So like timber and stone and metal and things like that. And rope and wax. They were basically the base resource. Yeah, I guess. They just handed out basic resources, and other people made them into items.
Oh, yes.
They were pretty proper, and Morgantha never made any business with them in person. There was always a middleman in between. That's what you know. Next, you're like, who? Adrian Arasek?
What the fuck is good?
Arasek, is that like a spice?
Yes, exactly, Nix.
That's what I thought.
Remember that,
There's a lot of names, okay?
You know, I think he was what was it, like the handsome blonde one?
Yeah, the family of big pants. They are all very control. Well, they have a stock over in the east, and they distribute. Well, I don't know if they still are, but they used to distribute the most basic resources to the rest of Vallaki. So if you needed to buy some rope or some wax or some basic thing, you go to them. They were pretty wealthy.
They're in the square in the east, opposite the coffin makers, I believe. So it makes sense that that is their new headquarters.
Asphodel blinks slowly and leans over your shoulder, like low in. Yes, and that wagon
Yes, the wagon.
that the bard Octavio had was also there. I remember.
The one we took, yes.
Yes.
I remember you pulling the door off its hinges. It was a great feat of strength.
Well, you failed. You took too long.
I'm trying to give you a compliment, Asita. It was a
Oh.
defining moment.
Well. Thank you.
So we have a group of vampires that are being the blood taxmen of Vallaki. If you don't meet your quota of productivity, which is a metric defined by Lady Vakter to hopefully appease the vampire lords and ladies up in Ravenloft, so they don't go on murderous rampages. Have I kind of understood basically what's going on?
Yeah.
Right.
did.
So, what happened to that lady in the pike? Arasek. Why is she now a kebab?
Gently put. And the sign as well. Seems rather intentional.
Yes.
Danica wipes somewhat non-existent dust on her bar and kind of sighs. Yet that Adrian Arasek that you know is kinda cold. Sold out his own parrots, and Wachter was not too happy about their whispers of complaints of her rule, and so she made an example of them. And the young lord now, Arosek, doesn't want anything to do with his parents' business. Is funnily run by Lady Wachter's two sons, Carl and Nikolai Jr.
And the burning down of the church, I'm assuming it was a bit of rage by Strahd himself, or?
I don't even know. But nothing burns that fast.
Okay.
Right.
Well. We are here, Danica. We are back in Vallaki only for a fleeting visit, really.
Alright.
Unless
know.
there's
Got
something
bigger
that...
fish to fry, I guess.
Well, we have an objective to take care of the children being kidnapped.
Oh, yes. We were very concerned when Lady Wachter did that deal for the Lucian here fought with Tooth and Claw. And Lucian again just looks down on his fingers, just trying to keep it together. And looking slightly sick as well, probably due to being extremely anemic.
I give him guidance to keep his shit together.
Don't worry, he does that to me too sometimes.
I appreciate it actually, but it doesn't really make me feel better over all my shortcomings. Once again, I couldn't save them.
Well, we can't be everywhere all at once, unfortunately, but we have done some good, Father. We have made a choice, collectively, all of us, to stand opposed to Strahd. And Okay, Vallaki isn't anymore run by a dictator with a complex. It's still not great, but if we can take care of the children issue, we can see what we can do here.
I mean, there's still some problems here. Some things I'm very concerned about. Like, all of this with Lady Wachters, the quotas, the blood types, I mean, at least not somebody's dying. But then there is Nikolai Senior.
Okay.
Fiona's husband. He died long ago. He was the captain of the guard underneath Vargon, Vargas's father. But when Vargon mysteriously died and Vargas took power, soon afterwards when Nikolai Senior was escorting him with a couple of his men to a state diplomat visit to the village of Barovia on their way back, Nikolai Senior was mysteriously found mauled to death in the morning. During one of the mornings of their various days traveling back towards Vallaki. His men, still loyal, carried his body back, and then we don't really know what happened to Nikolai, but apparently Fiona has kept his body, and then as a gift for a job well done, Strand personally resurrected him.
What?
Just a very surprising, wide-eyed look on Iris' face.
He's not the Nikolai I remembered from my youth, though. I can put my finger on it. Well, I can. He's not really talking or showing that much emotion. He's acting more like a halver, but he has a conscious will. He is... Whenever I meet him on the street, it's a very bad feeling. Then there is the vermin. You might have seen them already. I think you mentioned it. The flying buggers.
Yes, we've seen them.
Yes, we have.
Oh, still looking?
They have killed all of my ravens here. Meals. Snacks. The rest have fled. Mariella was really lucky of being able to land and transform. At least alive at my doorstep. It's teeming with them up there in the air, in the mists where they can't be seen. And then lastly, there has been whispers before I lost all of my patrons to the Shadow Respite Inn. Oh, by the way, did you know that she's cheating? That vampire lady now in control of the new inn? How? I can't even compete. She is getting food directly from the castle. Apparently there's some humongous stores of food and drink. Like, there's even champagne de l'Estampes.
Really?
Nix.
Like,
Nix. Have some loyalty.
are you suggesting that I would drop everything just to have a taste of champagne de l'Estampes? I mean, it's been a while, but the last time I had it, I had some bad experiences.
I'm just saying.
But
As I
I'm
said,
more like shocked that they're getting shipments of food and wine from the castle itself, you said.
Indeed. In return, as an official payment for the blood tithe and our continuous pious service to the Lord and Savior Strahd Monsarvich.
Didn't think that they had the resources for that, but surprising that he's so benevolent.
I
I
suppose if
guess.
a little bit of food is all it takes to get a town under control.
And endless supply of willingly volunteers' blood.
The meat is more tender than any wolf or squirrel my two loyal friends, Yevgeny and Soldar, can give me. The vegetables fresh and crispy is more than the meager earth of Barovia can give me. And the drink is more complex and rich than my own ale brewing can do for me. Yes, anyway. There's a shadow monster walking the streets during the night. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there if you wanted to do anything with that information. But if you're just here
Okay,
to stay the
can-
night, you're free, breeze through, save some sphere children. Have a nice time.
A
Well-
shadow monster that Nick's kind of sketches what he remembers about the shadow creature that escaped from a child in the orphanage that swore that its vengeance on us for, alleviating the child of its possession, and shows it to Danica. It's like, you mean kind of like this?
Yeah, it's kind of how it's been described to me, but larger and more spiky.
Lovely.
Huh. So what's the curfew? When do you have to be inside until the scary shadow monster comes?
Now, the tale is that as long as you're meeting your quotas and you're being a good little Samaritan, you don't meet the shadow monster.
Ah, I see.
And, well, there's not really a curfew. Most people stay up very late these days, partying over Shadow's Respite or at the open revolving door of Carl and Nikolai's party house over at Arasek Stockyard. And they sleep in until lunch and wake up then. Like, the schedule of Vallaki has changed. You walked through the morning traffic when you came here. It's
That
breakfast.
was traffic.
Well, more so than I'm used to.
I suppose before we forget, Danica, the vineyard has now been liberated and is now back once again in the hands of the Markoviches?
Martikov.
Martikovs.
Well, Muriela told me as much when she came here. She's upstairs if you want to talk to her with Irvin. I didn't want to disturb her.
Muriel is here. I suppose that makes sense if Asphodel is here.
Did you miss that whole part earlier?
What?
That she almost didn't make it getting here. As she-
Muriela?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
Look, I'm just sitting here with a massive headache, and I'm like, hold up.
What happened? happened to her? Is she alright? Did she die?
No, as I said, she almost didn't make it.